So we pop back over. Morty, who saw Bad disappear, went and rounded up a patron and Presto. Wow, I almost forgot Presto's name. That's awful. And brings them over to the scene of the crime, as Morty was liking to call it. He says, "Here's where the Lady of Pain came through, and even though that Bad didn't talk to the Lady of Pain, he went on and talked to her servants, and he just poof disappeared. So you all have been looking clues for the last 5 hours. So we're getting closer to like 10, like 10 hours left in your decision. So does a patron? It's like, let's go ahead and move you guys through here. And again, you all have been looking. Presto has attempted to use his hat a few times, just to let you all know. It has went poorly every time that he's tried to use his hat. And at one point, he even covered himself in cement, and it was quick drying cement, and he sort of like froze. and you all had to chisel him out a little bit. It may have been a while. It's been a little bit of time. So he's thinking about trying to cast another spell with his hat. So he's trying to think of the words to reach in. Are you are you gonna let him do that? Is the patron gonna let him do that?
Yeah, I mean, I have really no reason not to let him do it.
He says,
I'll keep a close eye on him in case he does something.
He goes, so metal with legs made of metal. So with a cape, bring him back and let him escape. He reaches into his hand, he pulls out a doll of Bad. When he looks at it, the cape flows a little bit, and he looks at him and goes, "I am Bad. I am Bad. I am Bad." Poor. So, poor Presto is sort of dejected, is sad, and he's about to put the Bad doll down when it goes, "I am with me. I am with me." Well, that's a weird thing to say. It's like Presto goes, "You were with me." Goes. You know, and again he keeps saying that I am with me, and then it says, "I have left me." Presto is confused. What does a patron think? Charlie?
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Well, I'm going to touch the doll. The willing creature and proceed through its senses until the end of your next turn, as long as it is on because the doll is in the same plane of existence.
Yeah, the doll is in this same. So you're looking through the doll.
You can take a bonus action to maintain the connection and extend the duration until the end of your next turn. While proceeding through the other creature's senses, you can benefit from any special senses possessed by that creature, and you can cast spells as if you were in space. Basically, I'm trying to gain senses into the doll.
Okay, so you go through, and this for a brief second, you see a sea full of stars. This for a brief second. Then, of course, you see yourself through the doll. Because it's like facing you. Presto's like holding it through. Presto's like, "This is sort of cute." I was like, "Bad's been really helpful to me, and he's been such a good friend. I think I'll hold on to it as a keepsake." And he puts it on his belt.
Okay.
So, and about this time, a portal opens up and like slowly raising from the ground, almost like it's like comes Bad. And Morty's like, "That's the way you make an entrance."
Why are you all even here? did you even know I was going to be here?
So, that'd be me.
Yeah.
So Morty comes up. He's like, "We've been so worried." And my contacts in the morgue said that you haven't showed up. So and I'm like, what a waste of material. But anyway, it's like, we've been worried sick. Well, not like sick that Presto's been, but we've been trying to figure out. We thought the Lady of Pain like banished you, even though she wasn't near you. All that everyone did, I asked around. All everyone did said that the lady walked through and nothing happened, and there were some of her Motrons fixing the razor vine, which you noticed, though, Bad noticed that the house that had razor vine on it has now been cut back. So that lets you know that some amount of time has been passed.
What time is it now?
When they tell you the time, like I said, it's like it puts you down to it's a little over 10 hours, a little bit, you know, till you have to get back to Temesca.
Well, I'm sorry you all came around looking for me. I was nowhere, and nowhere was I. I am here, and now I must leave. And I'll turn and walk away. I'll walk towards the library.
Okay, so you're going towards the library. Of course, Presto knows, because you weren't really far from the library. So Presto starts following. So
I'll follow behind.
how far back?
20 feet.
So Presto's like, "Are you okay? You seem different." So
I don't even respond.
Presto's like, "He must have a lot in his mind." He leans back to Morty. So he says, "Do you know where he's been?" Morty's like, "Mm-mm." So but Morty sort of, his eyes sort of spin around, and he says, "I sense spirits." That's all that Morty says as you all head towards the library. Where did I must have put him up. Let's raise you won't put your foot under. Alright, so you get to the edge of the library, and of course there is what you know as Old Presto. So Old Presto greets you and smiling. So the smiling says, "I greet you."
I'm just staring blankly. So
You're just going.
I have a. I have an issue.
Oh, you actually speak and say you have an issue? Oh, okay. So the Old Presto smiles and sort of bows down and says, "How may I help you?"
So this is me thinking right at this second.
So you're not talking out loud?
Okay. Me thinking in my head at this very second. Like, would Presto be a safe keeper of this scroll momentarily, or would the library be safer?
We've not read the scroll,
I know.
so it can't absorb the knowledge of it, because it would then
Yeah,
that's
what I was
if
afraid
you read
of.
it would be it would then be inside of there to make.
Okay. So as long as where I've not read it, then the
Yeah.
library would actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you are safe because remember you took the other books in
Yeah.
and that was safe. So
Okay.
we
I
are,
wanted to make sure on that
we
because I
we-
did not want the library gaining that knowledge.
Yeah, because any wizard would
Have it.
would
Exactly.
have that. That also means that if you'd ever read the scroll, if you'd go in there,
Yeah. But I mean, if I ever read the scroll anyway, I mean, that happens and it will erase my knowledge of it.
I'll let you reproduce it.
No, if I cast that scroll,
If you cast it,
then
but you have to read.
Yeah, I mean-
you read it, but because you're a book, remember you learn.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you
that's
learn
that's if
everything.
I just read it and don't cast it. But I mean, if I'm reading it, I'm most likely casting it.
Yeah, which would mean from that point on it being your.
So
Of course, if you've cast it, then
then
things
it
are
doesn't
already-
it
things are
doesn't
very bad.
it doesn't matter anyway because everything.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I look at old Presto and like, I need a moment in the library, and if you don't mind to keep them company.
So Presto smiles and lowers down. He said, "You may speak to the library as much as you wish," and sort of.
And I turned back at them and I said, "You can't come in. You all must remain out here."
Morty's like, how rude.
Morty, I don't think anything in that library would interest you anyway. It's not dead.
Morty's like, yeah, fair enough. So the Presto's like, I've never went into the library before.
You don't want to either. You definitely don't want to because as crazy as your spells are, yeah, you might hurt the library.
See, I've got normal spells, just not great normal spells. But,
When's the last time you cast a normal spell?
did locate object.
Successfully?
I found you eventually, didn't I?
I don't know, did you? I mean, I was in a portal. I mean,
So,
did you find me?
so
Because I was never lost.
find an object isn't about lost. It's about finding an object in the same plane. Which you, of course, you're just like, it didn't work. He just
Yeah.
hung around the same spot that Morty told you that you disappeared.
So, alright, so I proceed to the library.
So, does a patron say anything while he's going into the library?
Before you leave me, I told you that I was at your service. Are you sure you do not need anyone to accompany you?
Absolutely. Thank you, though, but no. This is not. Look after Presto. This is something you can't. You wouldn't even begin to know in this library.
So,
Okay.
you want to do any type of roll to that?
Let's see here. We do insight. Just a 10.
Okay. Well, what's your passive perception?
13.
13. That's enough to, like, you look over at him, and so you feel that he might know something about the library more than he's letting on, just by sort of his facial expression. That's all. Of course, you feel like he knows more than he's let on. since probably the moment you met him. In a familiar but yet unfamiliar sense. You're welcome to take the guess of what you think, who or what you think he is. So, like I said, you're about to go in, or you wish to say that for another time?
It's another time. But you saying that, I might actually end up shooting you. That smirky, shit-eating grin of yours.
I did nothing.
Oh, you lying bastard.
I did nothing. We're still recording.
It's alright.
So,
That's a hand on head, calling the DM.
yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
you act like I just do so many evil things.
Oh, you do.
I do. Guilty.
Very guilty. Oh.
All right.
Oh,
Here we are.
So we're in the library. So do we remember who built the library?
Yeah. That's good.
Right. Now I'd say that probably pops in your head where after the conversation about Azad and Azuth and probably deep down inside you wonder if you could if you or even Omni could even take up that mantle like he was talking.
That's a big. I'll walk up into the center on the eye.
Okay. Yourself there, please.
And
Ira says, how may I help you?
am I even worthy enough to take on the role of speaker of pain?
So, interrogative, are you asking about the speaker of pain?
Well, I'm talking, but you know.
So it can only pull up, remember, it can only
No,
pull
no.
up entries. I know that's rhetorical, but
So, was Azuth the speaker of pain?
no.
What was the first entry Azuth ever put into this library?
So,
He built this
With-
library for a reason.
so with shared knowledge, we can build a universe many times.
That was his passage?
That was the credo of the library.
With shared knowledge?
We can build a universe many times.
You said universe many times. You didn't say multiverse.
This is what the passage says.
Who was the second person to enter the library?
I gotta think of that one. I don't know if there's an entry on that. It gives you an answer, but it's not relevant. Yeah.
Not relevant to anything.
It's frivolous information. It's just the name of a wizard.
Alright,
So you can just go ahead and say you asked. It's a wizard name. They tell you it's a wizard. It's like blah blah blah. But it's like nothing that.
irrelevant.
Yeah,
So
it's irrelevant.
there's something I'm missing with the zoo. Something I'm missing with Shar. Or not Shar, but Mistra. See, had I asked if Mistra had ever been in here? I don't remember if I had or hadn't. Has Mistra ever been in here?
No god has. Can't. No god will enter.
But Azuth was in here.
Yes, but Zeus,
Was a god at the time that this library was created.
Zeus did not have his godly powers.
Does the library hold any information about Sirik that would pertain to how you can destroy him?
No, has histories of Sarah killing other gods. Has histories, but there is more entry to Zeus, by the way.
Okay, I'll get to that.
Okay, I'm just letting you know, like there is more to.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a curious question that just popped up right then. But nothing about Sirik. I mean, only about him killing other gods.
It gives references gods or deities when they are felled can reform their power and come back within a certain amount of time. Or sometimes their essence moves on to another being and it takes their essence. Example, Mistra has been 3 beings.
What being is Mr. currently?
So Mistra is taking the life of a girl. She basically tells you like there was a girl from like Faerun that became the next Mistra after the previous one was slain by Sarek.
Who was the first god Sirik killed?
Gosh. Let me see who the first is.
And did he absorb that god, or did they take form? I mean, I know this is all kind of probably irrelevant, but learning more about Sirik.
Of course, he killed Mistra.
Yeah, but
It's just a bunch of minor deities. He could never kill Mask, but he was, but he stole his power, weakened Mask, and then Mask was not heard of again until your entries that Mask was apparently in Thetadolyon.
what would happen if I pull Mask out right here? Would the library
It's
be?
not Mask.
Well, no, but I mean just the form of Mask that I have with me. Would the library be able to pull any knowledge from Mask?
That's what he freely given because it's not here.
I think
You can pull them out.
it's a song.
Yeah, it's like the library lets you know it's like people's pulled out their holy relics and stuff before.
Yeah, but just to learn something about him if I'm able to. Because I still don't know if I fully trust him.
It's like records indicate that Mask is not 100% trustworthy.
Of course, he's
So,
the god of
but
lies and
it
thievery.
also shows that Mask is self-servient. So he will do what he must to protect himself and his mother.
And his mother. Even though his mother is punishing him, he's still loyal to his mother. What does Shara stand to gain if Sirik kills the entire multiverse?
You don't know that's what he's trying to do.
What else would Sarek be trying to do?
I was saying, like, there's, you know that he wants to, you think
I mean-
he probably just wants to destroy Thetadolyon. but
Okay, well, what would Shar stand to gain from Sarek destroying Thetadolyon?
Shar?
Mask is in prison there,
You know,
or part
So-
of him.
but Thetadolyon is part of the multiverse now. Shar, because you've not seen any of the connections of Shar. There's no entries with it. It's like this character doesn't know anything like through that, so you couldn't input any data in.
Okay.
Other than Shar, Shar wants darkness to be accepted through all realms.
There needs to be a balance.
Shar was not there because you do know that there was no god ever mentioned in Thetadolyon, so Shar was not there. You all have opened up portals to get some gods there, so Shar would benefit of having a whole new followers and congregations. Shar takes loss and sadness. There is a lot of loss and sadness in Thetadolyon, so it could definitely grow Shar's power.
But I mean, it wouldn't grow Shar's power if it was destroyed. It would weaken her.
But Mask was taken by Sarek, so it doesn't mean that Shar approved. Maybe the punishment was because Mask was weak and let Sarek do it to him, so Shar let it happen. I think that's the logical choice that you would come to
So,
with the answers they give.
so basically, he is just straight up on a vengeance mission. Just regain his approval of his mother and his godhood.
Right now, he's just a weak sub-deity.
And he still has followers, so
But the number of followers is
dwindled.
because he's not been around for a long time. So,
Alright, so
and then if anyone, what's funny is, the library tells you how everyone talks about how deities. If you're the above deity, if anyone worships the sub deity,
then
part of that goes up.
Yeah,
So anyone that actually is worshiping Mask,
it's a pyramid.
it's like Sarek gets it. But if someone worships Sarek, guess what? Mask doesn't get it.
Yeah, I mean it's the pyramid.
Yeah, it's the pyramid.
Yeah. Alright, so well, that about answers that. So what more information do you have on Azuth?
So there have been 2 Azuths.
Only 2?
Only 2.
Why has there only been a 2? Oh, across the entire multiverse.
2 that have taken the mantle of Azuth.
So Azuth is not technically related to one person, it's more of a title.
Yeah, like you can take on the title. Title generally known as the the god of magic, the god of wizards.
Mm-hmm. So why has there only been 2 to do it?
So usually you have to have a god die or be stripped of their powers before another one will take that power.
But was the former Azuth that I've also known as Azad still not had his power stripped?
No. So Azad has never gained. No records of Azad becoming Azuth.
Okay, so but is Azuth not powerless right now as a god?
So it's just pulling from your data because Azuth has been out of whack for a long time. So, there's not been a lot of records put in since the Thetadolyon was going through. Last known record of Azuth's location was going to confront the Ninth.
And when was this?
So, I think it was 14 something in D&D times, but from here going through, it's like no entry in Sigil time has been entered in close to 5,000 years. Or the time flows different.
But still, I mean, somebody should have taken form if Azuth has been gone.
Only if Zeus is completely dead.
Even,
Yeah,
I mean, just having his power strip does not classify as.
Strip doesn't mean destroyed.
But there should be a god there, even. I mean, if a god has been stripped of his powers, I mean, shouldn't there be another god to take his place?
Someone stripped his powers.
Yeah. So, who stripped his powers?
The Ninth.
Okay.
And
So,
the-
would that mean that the Ninth has assumed the role of?
Nope. The Ninth lost his power, lost his powers, and that's where his records disappear.
Oh, so.
So he So his visual lore.
Mhm.
So the library would have that and know that was that he was stripped and. And after the power strips, all records of Azuth. It's like nothing's been updated since he lost power. Azuth thought lost or in hiding or
Just trying to regain. So that's why.
and of course you've added stuff in, so now your knowledge has been added back in since you've walked in. So
that's why.
apparently records now of Azuth being shattered apart.
Yeah.
So now that record is in here.
So. That's why Omni is here to take that role when it's ready. Interesting.
So roll insight. So knowing your history that you've been told with Azad and some of the stuff you've heard about Azuth, maybe Azuth can never come back together and regain it. So maybe Azad / Azuth was trying to cultivate someone to be strong enough to take the mantle, which is in turn part of you and part of.
Yeah, but still, I mean, what's not clicking is why Azad, especially a bad form of him, or at least, at the time, it seems to be a bad form.
Okay, that's all right. That's a good thing. Roll insight on that. I'll think you. The library can't answer, but you.
I know. I mean, this is me thinking.
Yeah, but you can deep down think of it. Let's roll.
That's another 25.
Okay, so you're wondering why bad Azad. So Zeus. So you're thinking about all the timelines you know.
Yeah.
Well, Zeus used to be a neutral wizard in a way. He was taken over by the Ninth, and they shared power. Like the Ninth became a god by sharing it. Like the Ninth was like a demon lord, but he's still not a god. Well, he took the god power, but he didn't become the god of the god of wizards.
Yeah.
He had
just
power.
absorbed God's power.
So then, when it was ripped apart, he shattered and broke apart.
Okay.
But if Azad's the bad part, if Azad's the bad part, Azad saw what the Ninth was doing. So in your mind, Azad's trying to do the same thing. He wants his power back. So why not Azod's trying to build up the next god of magic for him to take it and get his stuff back. So that's streamlined all that down to, so now you know what the bad Azod
Is trying to do.
is trying to do. He's trying to cultivate you. So
He tried to cultivate Omni, and yet what the kink that he didn't plan on was Omni dying.
did not
He did not
think
plan
that.
on that.
But you also probably think that you probably didn't know that there's no way Azod can know that he was tagged to be, you know, the speaker of pain.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying though. I mean, is
We-
how can I Azod with bad intentions create another being with, well, two gods
So,
and the Lady of Pain?
But also think that too. It's like Azod may have been a tool. What better way to get some magic and to build something? So bad Azod could have been a piece of the recipe.
I mean, was it even that Azod that was in on that? Was it the
So was
good
it
side?
Azod? Was it Azod, or was it the bad piece of Zuth, or the good piece of Zuth?
And the bad Zuth just knows of it
Yeah.
happening
So
and doesn't know it all.
yeah, because you know not everyone knows the Lady of Pain's
Involved
plan, but again, piece of the recipe, piece of the spell,
Yeah.
like spell component.
Yeah.
So
Because Azod never did mention anything about the Lady of Pain. He just mentioned Mystra.
and this version probably doesn't know. It's like until it was broken up, he didn't know. He just knew that he could get his power back if he could help cultivate a vessel.
I wonder if he even knows about the Lady of Pain being a part of that.
I would say that your insight says he probably doesn't,
Yeah, he probably doesn't.
which is could be your trump card.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Then you're also going to think that since you roll so high, that version of Azod was so obsessed with learning every type of piece of magic, mind flayer magic,
Mm-hmm.
you know, hag magic. Like he was going through trying to get all these pieces. So he was trying to get as many pieces as he could to be ready to cultivate. So when he took the wizardry one, that would be the final piece.
The final piece to regain his.
And then he'd have all this. And then if he took over Omni's body, just like he was taken over, it's like and use all his power. He wouldn't just have wizardry powers. He'd have all these other. He'd have the mystics and the divine and the psychic and
God of all good and evil. So
you know, control the weave. But then
he would create his own weave. I mean, it wouldn't be just
that's-
controlling the weave. He'd
yeah,
be
it's like-
creating his own weave.
and then you just think who made their own weave too?
Liches.
No,
No,
no.
I thought they created their own weave whenever
Well, they're tapped into something, but it's.
But I thought they created their
But it was-
own weave whenever.
They combined the old weave and the new weave. So
Yeah.
and they're sort of like a glue with it.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
but
I thought that's where you was going. with
but
it,
there is a piece that you heard is very obscure. You may not wrote down. Shar made
Oh man,
the shadow weave.
that is right. Yep. So, what is the shadow weave? Is there any entries in
No,
this library?
there should be plenty of entries on that. It's like after Mystra died, you know, it's conflicted. Some think that it was born of Mystra dying, but others believe that it was a piece that Sarek was used to kill Mystra on Shar's behalf to get the weave broken and Shar to make her own magic that she can draw from, you know, the shadow weave and the shadow magic and the dark magic, so that way she wouldn't have to share and touch that.
So, is Shar and Sirik in conspiracy with one another? Or does Sirik want to kill Shar?
So Shar was punished. Not Shar. Yeah, Sirik was punished for killing Mistra by other gods.
Yeah.
Shar did not step in one way or another when Sirik was punished.
So they're just more or less on neutral ground with one another?
Evil uses evil, going back to what you did. Like Shar used Sirik. So
Shar used Sirik, Sirik uses Shar. They both gain from it.
So, but also see at this point, Sirik had already taken Mask's power. So I'm using your insights rolls. So Shar's already. So Shar uses Sirik to do something that gets Sirik in trouble. Sirik has already subjugated Mask. Sirik does something really, really bad to kill Mistra. The other gods step in, punish Sirik, which in us, and he ends up in Thetadolyon through. So Shar gets what she wants. She also gets her son punished too, and Sirik gets punished. She creates the Shadow Weave, but from what Sirik on, that's Sarik's plan. What he devised there over thousands of years. So Shar probably does not know what Sirik was up to, because this was born of no plan. It's like, so this is a completely different plan of Sirik that's had thousands upon thousands of years that Sirik has been weaving and going through.
So Sirik knows about the Shadow Weave. I wonder if Sirik is in the Shadow Weave right now.
So unknown.
Yeah, that's me thinking.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I wasn't asking the library. It's just me thinking. Alright, so...
But Mask had power that Shar could have used her own son to do that. But instead, since her son lost power, she used Sirik to do it. So in turn, it sort of shielded her son, but also her son needed to be taught a lesson for being weak.
Yeah, by making him weaker.
But sort of like you, given purpose. Mask has been given purpose to be brought back in, So what's one thing, just logically thinking, is like, what's Mask's investment now? So he wants his power back.
Yeah,
he wants revenge, but the revenge is driven by wanting Mama to accept him and become again a higher level god.
Helping one evil entity to destroy another evil entity.
But there will always be that evil entity. It's just, who is it?
Yeah.
So if both Mask and Sirik died, guess what? Someone would, like one of the lower deities would rise up.
Yeah, but
that's
would
unknown.
one actually be able to rise up to Sirik's level? That's the thing.
Maybe not now. But the thing is, Sirik has all the murder and stuff because Mask can't take it, so it all goes to him. So it's not like piecemealed up like pyramid scheme, right? So, but there are other gods that do bad things.
Yeah.
So someone would step up.
Yeah.
And someone would get that power. So even when Sirik's defeated, those domains, someone's going to take those domains. Roll history.
Uh, 29.
So you've happened to met another god that actually dabbles in some of those.
Dabbles in some of taking power from a fallen god?
No, that's some of those domains are theirs, namely hers.
Mainly hers. Domains of which domains?
Well, death, murder, lies, darkness.
And I've met them?
Yes. But she also grabbed other domains that are surprising recently. She likes feathers.
She likes what?
Feathers.
She likes feathers.
Yes. Raven Queen.
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
Those were her no more domains until Belny unlocked others into her, and she was brought into Thetadolyon for other things. Sarah, guess what? Took Belny.
What role does Belny have in this?
It's the library only. Are you guys in the
Knows.
library?
Yeah, I'm asking.
Well, alright, so there's one question in here. Would Sarek only have one person in that book? In his new book?
In his new book? I don't know anything about his new book.
Well, you got the notes. They told
I
like
mean,
Belny told you that, and Sarek came in and gloated that Belny's now in his book.
Yeah, but I wasn't there for that.
Well, they told you though about Sarek going. That's prompted you to go get the other Omni to come back here. They told you stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I never met Sarah face to face.
yeah, like Zeph was there.
I wasn't there. I was out that session.
No, you were here because you were mad. That was the session we had the party. Sarek showed up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was Zeph, yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
Zeph was there, and then they told, and then you. That's why you.
Yeah.
They found out all the stuff, and that's where you went and
Yeah.
started the whole thing with going there.
Yeah.
Mask gave the cards next.
Bad was with
And-
Mask.
yeah.
And
And
Zeph
Ollie.
was with Sarek. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
But they,
Yeah.
but you found out they told.
Yeah.
So you know that Belny was turned into her essence into the book.
Yeah.
So knowing how books work, then whatever powers and stuff like that, Sarek's feeding off of those. So Sarek is also shouldn't be this powerful.
No,
So-
he's feeding off more than, especially as not even a sub-deity. I mean, something.
Well, he is a deity. He
No,
is the youngest.
I'm talking about Belny. I mean,
Yeah.
she wasn't even a deity.
No, but her power still grows.
Yeah,
But
but she's feeding off, or Sarek's feeding off something more powerful, like the Raven Queen.
because pyramid scheme, like you said,
Yeah, I mean,
and
so does that mean that Sarek has the Raven Queen in the book?
who knows? But I would say your logical conclusion is Belny's probably not the only one that's in that book.
Yeah, I just wonder how high of a level he's achieved on getting.
That's a question for Sarek. But
Hopefully, I don't have to ask him personally. Hopefully, I can just rip his soul out.
Okay.
So,
We got time for one more question. And then I need the choice after your question to tell me if you're going to take the book to Shemeska or not. That's after your last question.
I don't know what question else.
Or if you feel like you're done on questions, or you can do a mental question and I can answer with your perception rolls that you've done.
I just don't know what to ask right now because everything is just like, oh my goodness, there's more and more information.
Yes, but the thing is, you got to say what's relevant, what's not.
Yeah.
Look, Sarek's bad, and you know that he's powerful. All you're doing is finding out why he's powerful.
How is he gaining all of this power, basically?
Probably trickery.
Oh yeah,
like he's,
lies, deceit. I mean, that's what he's known for. But still, there has to be more than that.
so, but is it? That's all Sarek is: lies and trickery. He did a scheme and got Belny. And was able to break out. It's like he did.
Would releasing all of those people from his book weaken him?
Yes. So that's why you're all trying to get Belny out. That's what Mass told you. You do that,
Now, Mass just said if we get Belny out, Belny is not strong enough to just weaken somebody like Ciri.
But Mask's cards, Belny, and his original book, like I said, you all had a quest to get items. So technically, if you can get Belny out, it's probably not going to just get Belny out. It's whoever he has in that book. And then it just turns into regular old book. Instead of high level gods there.
So I need to figure out where Ciric is, where Ciric's book is, if it's on him or whether it's hid somewhere.
So Ciric would never take that book off of him.
Okay.
Like he would never.
Well, that's
never.
why
It's like a wizard. You're thinking no.
Yeah,
Like he's not.
that's why I'm sitting here thinking.
Because he
in
couldn't
my
control the
head.
power. If he doesn't have it, he ain't going to control the. That he's not going to control the power.
Okay.
And you're sort of a parallel to him.
So, my understanding, I need to get the cards.
Yep, which is in get-go.
Yeah, from the get-go.
I need the cards.
I gotta obtain the last page of Ciric's old book,
Yep, which would complete his book.
which would complete the old book. Yes. The cards need placed within the book. Is that correct? Or do
Correct.
I need...
No, yeah, the cards will go in you.
Okay. So, I will have the book. I will have the cards. What role does the cards play in weakening Ciric, though?
It's Mass told you the very start. It's controlled chaos.
Okay.
Ciric is pure chaos. So you've got law of all your books and everything, how you are, and you're basically you'll line his chaos out. Like you've created all these things, and they'll tame his chaos book.
Yes.
So it's like fighting fire with fire. You know how you can blow out fire by blowing up fire? Well,
Yeah.
that's it. And again, you're the binder.
Yeah. Okay. So, how would I rip the book of Ciric from his possession once he reads the whole book containing the cards?
So,
would he be weak enough to?
So do you want to roll for the answer?
Roll what? I mean, this is all me thinking.
I know. I'm saying, do you want to roll for the answer?
I can roll for it. What do you want me to roll though?
Just the pure insight. This is just insight. Because this is all intelligence, right? So.
Well, insight's not. Insight's wisdom.
Well, you need the wisdom too.
17.
The answer is there. So. No. It's like you were made for a purpose. You know that's a speaker. You said Omni. It's like you just met with Omni. If you have two opposing forces in the same place, what usually happens to the two opposing forces?
They swap sides. It's like.
Do they swap sides, or do
Well,
they?
I mean, they point in other directions.
Yes, but if you have two, again, it goes back to the use fire to use fire. What happens to the fire that you used to blow out the other fire?
I mean, they both smuggle out.
So the answer is, if you absorb his book, you destroy both.
So I somehow have to get him to read this book, read the old book with the cards, and then absorb his book.
Yeah, once you're there and you absorb it, and you feel that it will destroy you and the book.
Yeah. So pretty much exactly what I was thinking minutes ago.
Yeah, and I had a feeling that you thought that.
Wow, you and I talked about it.
I know, but like it said, but you also just told Omni that his phase come back. That would sever the tie, and possibly let Omni live.
You can even ask Charlie. Mention that to Charlie months and months ago. So that's everything that I suspected is coming a lot.
You're the WMD. So, but you have to get Ciric weak enough that you can, because you just can't. So you'll have to, once you're strong enough, you'll have to fight Ciric. You'll need people to fight Ciric. You got to get him weak enough that you'll be able to actually absorb his book, blow it up, release Belny and whoever is through there, and then when that's done, you sort of just destroyed yourself, but you've weakened him enough that everybody could take him down.
A self-sacrifice to save the boy. Yep.
But that sacrifice,
It saves the boy.
but it also will release Omni.
Yeah, exactly what I thought.
So
Alright, so
again, so I need your decision. Are you going to take it to?
I'm not done yet.
Oh,
Give me just a minute.
okay. So
Alright. No. Yeah, I know. You're rushing me along.
You need to
I'm
be
not
done.
listening along. I thought you had one question. You
I
had
know,
your
but this
question.
That was a bunch of questions ago.
Hey, you shut your mouth. You're not in this. I will throw something at you.
So,
It might be a paper ball or a spitball, but I'll throw some.
all right.
So I am here in this library.
That's in the library.
Yes.
Which everything that you know has been added to the library.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm about to ask, is there a place within this library I can place an item and have it never touched until I come to retrieve it again?
No, that's not the title. It's just knowledge.
Well, that's why I asked.
So it's just knowledge.
It's just knowledge. There's
You
no.
notice, remember when you came in, the only thing that pops up is the magical thing of the multiverse that you can look at.
Okay. So there's not a secure box or anything
No,
like that
there's
right now.
you notice there's no books, there's no
Well,
papers.
I know, but I mean, I've still had stuff to appear though in here.
Yeah, but it's all it just creates a magical construct basically.
So, asking the library, does it know of a place I can store something of great value without it being tampered? Somewhere here within Sigil.
Somewhere, I'll have to look it up. There's several places.
There's several places.
There's several places. I will tell you the
Yeah,
answer. So you'll
I
know.
need a secure location for an item of great value.
It will tell you several places, and I will tell you. I will go through and give you options, and say this is why.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
so because that's like I said, there's a bunch of Sigil that I've not read yet, but there's definitely one place is called the Fortune's Wheel.
Oh, yeah.
I will tell you that.
That's one place I can't put it right now. So, okay. Well, that's all I have for that.
All right. So again, like I need to know: are you going to give it to Shemeska or not?
I mean,
Because I have to prepare the rest of the part.
well, I mean, shouldn't that come whenever I go to confront her? You want to know
Well,
ahead of time?
I'm asking inside your mind. This is for me because I'm like because
What if I get there and she says something and I decide like, no way?
I need to know what you're thinking right now.
I mean, what I'm thinking right now is I made a deal with Shemeska and then
Because like you don't understand, it's like I have to prepare a ton either way. So
Yeah.
that's why I need that answer because I'm like either I plan like 20 pages this way or 20 pages that way.
I mean-
It's not a decision that I just need to make up on the fly because if you would make the decision and I don't know it, I'm like, all right, we're done, and then we have to be in another session. And,
Yeah, I mean-
because I'd have to rework. So I just need to know.
I mean, I pretty much, I mean,
'Cause
I'm
you feel though that
I mean,
you were sketchy about her, but you did roll when you said, and you felt that she would live up to her end of the bargain.
I mean, she is an absolute sketchy person.
Yes,
I mean, she
but-
is a
but
sketchy fox.
but
And
you
do I
did
trust her?
No.
Absolutely not.
But she's
because
also
she,
a business lady.
Yeah.
And you also found out she is lawful evil.
oh, is she lawful? I
Yes,
didn't know. I'm
yes,
like, she's
like-
either lawful or she's neutral.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
but she is.
I'm like, she is.
She is lawful.
So I'm
And
like,
because you rolled on it,
yeah.
and I'm like, I told you that even though she's sketchy, you believe that if you completed what she said.
Yeah, I mean, she fed me to a demon. I mean,
But-
literally. Yeah, I mean, so, I mean, she either A, knew that I could find some way to get out, or B, she was planning on me staying there forever. I mean, for all eternity. Which one, I have no idea, but at the same time, oh, that is so loud. But at the same time, I mean, I did escape. She did promise me a way to get to the Lady of Pain conference with her, and I'm like, as of right now, I have no reason to break that contract with her. I mean, I need more proof that she's going to destroy the entire multiverse with this book. I mean, before I can even before.
Shar can't destroy the multiverse.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So
I mean, I know it is a book of Shar. The question is, what does she want to do with that book of Shar? Is she wanting to kill Shar? Is she wanting to use Shar? Is she? I mean, I have no idea. Heather, you're loud. So, I mean,
No,
like I
but
said, my
again,
mind has been made up ever since I made the deal with her that, I mean, as of right now, unless she does something extremely stupid, like try to kill me,
Oh, well, yeah, because that would be a different path. But
That'd
you're
be a
gonna give
different
it, I
path.
just need that. I just
yeah,
need that.
I mean, as of this very second, I mean, the deal is still on.
So we're going to. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, I wanted
Fortune's
to
Wheel, and
make sure
you're
that
gonna
that I had, you know, and that's why I've kept track of the time to make sure that I didn't fall under the guidelines or outside of it.
Yeah, because you'll get there with about 8 hours to go.
Yeah.
So
But
the next time we will go to the Fortune's Wheel and we will see where fortunes go.
never in my favor.